Hi folks, in this video I'm going to be talking about the if function, or the if statement. And the if statement is Excel's version of the classic if, then, else logic, where the first term is a logical statement. If that returns as true, then the function will return one value, and if the logic statement returns as false, it'll return a different value. So I'm going to populate a couple of different examples here. So we'll just start with this counter at the top first. So this counter is going to be a 1 for an actual period and a 0 for a forecast period, defined by this current year cell in H11. So there's a few ways we could do this, but let's use the if statement because that's why we're here. So if the year I'm in is less than or equal to 2020, lock that in place, then 1, otherwise 0. So there we've got our new counter. It's a 1 for our actual periods, including 2020, and a 0 for the future periods. So if we just have a quick look at the syntax of the if statement, we've got our logical test first, then our value if true and value if false. This first part can be as simple or as complicated as you like, as long as it resolves to true or false. In our second example here, I'm going to use the counter we just created. For actuals periods, we're going to pull the numbers from the actual block, and from the forecast periods, going to pull the answer from the budget block. So again, equals if my counter equals 1, that means I'm in an actuals period, so I want this cell here. Otherwise, I'm in a forecast period, so we'll take the budget number. Close that, Control Enter to apply, and that's given us our 29, 32, 33, and then when we reach our forecast period, moves down to take the bottom numbers. I said earlier in the video that as long as the first part of the formula returns a true or a false, then the if statement will work. There's another aspect to that which can save a few characters in your formula, if you're interested in keeping formulas short and neat. This first part doesn't necessarily have to return true or false. Excel will read a 1 as a true and a 0 as a false. It'll also read a 2 or a 3 or a 4 as true. The only things it really reads as false are false itself and 0. Anything else could be read as true. I'll do another video on operators and we'll talk about that in there. But what it means for this formula here is that I don't need the equals 1. J6 is 1. 1 means true, so that's already true. We don't need to ask if it equals 1. So if I enter here and I just copy that formula across, nothing will change, but it's an interesting way and good to know about in case somebody else uses it and you can understand what they're doing. So there we go, a couple of quick examples of how the if statement works. If, then, else logic, where the if condition has to return to something equivalent to true or false. Speak to you soon.